Nah.
Ba 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 na na. Ba 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 na na.
Nah.
See, guys, this is what I hear every single time Younger Bro just continues to say blah.
Nah.
I just hear the minions singing that song. So if you ever understand why I get a little bit annoyed by it, that'd be why.
Nah.
And then he continues doing it after I'm saying how annoyed I am with it.
Again, it's
I know,
a perfect
I know
pitch. That's
why.
why I still use it.
I know. I'm not asking you to never use it. I'm just saying, can we vary it up a little bit? That's all I'm saying. Like, let's find some other like introductions that can also get the job done.
Like, it's just my perfect test word because it just hits the mic perfectly. I don't know why it does. It just does.
I know.
Anyway, we're good. Hello, people. It's TBGN. I'm your host, Younger Bro.
I'm your the host, Older Bro.
And we are back in Katawa Shoujo.
Where exercise.
I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Sure, things haven't been...
Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is a Twitch stream, Mr. B.
No, this is Patrick.
Also that.
Sure, things haven't been great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy.
Stay healthy, my friends.
Besides, it's all about assuring some kind of control over this thing, right?
Asserting, but yes.
If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything.
I'm pretty sure you can't, but sure.
At least that's what I keep telling myself.
Keep telling yourself that, man.
Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Emmy has apparently been here for some time. Looks like she's already worked up a sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway? Probably dusk.
Yeah. Oh, it's you! I'm surprised to see you again.
Why's that?
Well, not many people actually managed to come back for a second try.
She frowned, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought.
Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. Wait, the track team is on a volunteer basis? How the fuck's that work? So, anyways.
Okay.
And I guess it's pretty early in the morning.
I shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. Sorry, I have short-term memory loss. The frown.
Is this girl bipolar?
The frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snap back to her previous train of thought.
So come on then.
What?
You're here to run again, right?
Uh-oh.
With me?
Yeah.
So come on.
Find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Ah! You dislocated my arm!
It's fine. I'm missing 2 legs. You'll live.
Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable.
To be fair, she's probably been doing this for like 8 years.
Years and years. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out.
Yeah, that's what every guy says.
I know I should be patient, work towards things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. The power of positive thinking.
No, the power of negative thinking for life.
We round the track and start on our second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient, keeping pace with me. She even begins to wait at the finish line occasionally, tapping her, non-existent mechanical leg on the ground. Come on,
It's very okay. Her mechanical leg is very existent.
And begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? Okay. I'm guessing if I go for it, that goes for Emmy's route. But I also know...
I think... Here's the thing. I think right now... I think this is one of those games where it's like... It's like... Blue Skies. You're gonna choose a girl later on. So this isn't a... You pick options that lead up to you... Like, the game forcing you to a route. I think it's gonna be a... You get a list, and you're saying, I want to go with this girl.
I know that DDLC was inspired by this game. So I don't know
Blue
how
Sky
many
specifically.
options matter. Like, for all I know, all the options matter.
Yeah.
That's why I'm taking each option seriously, because I don't know.
Exactly. So.
Alright, so if I take it easy, I think that's better for me, but if I go for it, it's also kind of better for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's
like,
one of these is you saying, I need to get better at this, and so you force yourself to go a little bit further. And one of them is just saying, I just need to get in the requisite amount of exercise, and I don't give much a shit beyond that.
I know the doctor wants us to exercise more, so now I'm down to the point where it's like, which one is more correct? Which one is
more correct?
Which one is this character's speed?
Well, I mean, taking it easy is definitely this character's speed, quite literally, and going for it is improving his speed, quite literally.
I just don't want to risk getting my main character here in the hospital again.
That's true, but at the same time, if he doesn't ever try to push himself, he'll never actually.
Exactly.
He'll never get to the point.
Negatives and positives about this.
And would you believe that's life? There's positives and negatives to everything. That's why the power of positive thinking is bullshit, because with every positive comes a negative.
Fuck it, go for broke. What am I doing here? I am really just going to fold and let Emmy pull ahead. I speed up. I get my runner's high on the second lap.
Probably.
The second lap's done quickly. And without even considering it, I keep going.
Now, if your heart starts hurting, then stop.
Emmy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins.
Still going?
Yeah, I think that choice was more for the Emmy route, though.
Probably. I think this sets you up for getting points into the Emmy route, but I don't think this is something that it's not forcing you into the Emmy route.
I hope it doesn't. What? What? Yeah. You think I'm out of shape? Oh, God, I am.
You absolutely are out of shape. That's not a question.
Emmy laughs without breaking her stride, no less, and speeds up even more. Jesus Christ! I made a terrible mistake. This is the way. This is the way. We're going to play things. I increase my own pace as well.
Okay, maybe you are actually going to have a heart attack.
I can feel my lungs burning, and my legs are starting to question just what the hell I was thinking.
That's a good question.
But, lactic
Yep.
acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears.
You can't. Wait, can you hear your lactic acid? What the fuck kind of metaphor is this?
Hearing, like, what kind of superhuman hearing do you have?
Like, what kind of metaphor is this?
Did he crank up his hearing aids to 100? Like,
again, I know it's a metaphor, but it's a fucking weird metaphor.
I can't let my. What the hell happened?
You went backward.
Oh.
There's a back button.
I can't let myself fall behind because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquires mildly just when we started playing a game. We're going to play a game. It's called 12 Rounds.
Yeah.
I'd answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at the present.
That's a problem.
She's so fast and bold.
Yep.
How the... Oh.
Well, hey, we were right.
It's like a stinging, pulling at my chest. A choking feeling of narrowness and pain. Before I can think of anything else, then, oh shit. The track disappears under my feet.
Well,
I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling at my face. Emmy whirls around and her eyes widen.
He's out!
She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track.
What's wrong?
My heart, call this number.
Call this, yeah. Okay, you joke, but I think that
no, that's what happened.
It's a real thing.
Just keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Deep breath. Don't panic. Oh shit!
Do you need me to get the nurse?
Not so close.
That's not helping.
I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. My heart struggles to gain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon it's gone like nothing happened. It was. Nothing knows. Something happened here. Open my eyes and glance at a very worried Emmy. think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird even to myself, oddly even. And matter of fact, it makes Emmy frown.
I don't think you are.
You're right, get me to the hospital. She seems to come to a decision, nods to herself.
Right, you're coming with me.
Vexing.
You've got to see the nurse.
Emmy grabs my arm and drags me. Don't, not too hard. Feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse the shoulder Emmy offers for support. Honestly, I'm a little ashamed by my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Emmy concerned about me, but it seems to be too late. Heck, I'd rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, though at this point it seems to be too late for that as well.
Yep.
I'd like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own without being a bother to anyone else.
You're in a school for the disabled. That's not
No,
that
it's not
that
happening.
mindset's not gonna fly, dude.
No. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place.
See, that's the spirit. Nurse!
Oh no. Emmy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least. Good morning, Sunshine. What's up? Sunshine? Anyway, he calmly sips from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Emmy's gaze to me looming in the doorway. Hey, Sal, what brings you here?
We were running and he stumbled over and started grabbing his chest, and I thought I'd come get you and make him wait in the...
Easy there.
Did you actually skip that?
No.
Okay, good.
Emmy, calm down. Hey, Sal, what happened? I mean, if you want to stop someone short in the middle of a sentence,
that's
how you do it, but
yeah.
I kind of like how DDLC does it, where at the end of a sentence they just put a dash mark, and then you can just easily click it without it moving on like that.
That makes sense.
But,
yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. We were running, and then my chest started hurting like that time before, but went away after a few seconds. It was just a flutter or something. The nurse frowns as if to say that just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron. I didn't mean quite this. When I suggested to get some exercise, you've got to be careful, he said. Well, what the fuck did you want me to do? You said more exercise, so I did it.
Yeah, well, it seems that any amount of exercise is going to cause this.
I was being careful. Come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would.
True.
Just what? That is... I was racing Emmy.
I like how he's like, this seems like a bad logical thought. Emmy. Fuck it, it's the only one I've got.
Emmy, is this true? Emmy fidgets, looking adorably contrite.
Oh,
Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it out loud and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs at his forehead with one hand tiredly. Emmy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hisao has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible. Ooh, I might have did the wrong option. Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement. You what? We were just running and Emmy started to pull away, and so I sped up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, mutters a prayer for patience.
Dude, why do all of these goddamn people, why do all these damn students think, like, just want to kill themselves? I don't understand.
So you're both stupid.
Well, that's a given.
That's a comfort, I guess. Come on, Hisao. I've got to make sure your heart's not going to explode or something. You said get exercise. I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room where we ascertain that I am, in fact, not going to kneel over and die.
Keel over, but close enough.
So how does it feel? I don't know, nothing much. Tired, but it might be just from the exercise. You should stay here for a few hours and rest, and we'll see how you feel after that. I'm not going to object, so I lied down on the infirmary bed.
I like how this. I like this teacher. Who's just. I love the nurse who's just like, you're both stupid. just not pulling any punches. Just like you're both idiots.
A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries.
I'm 99% certain that this nurse is not capable of just pleasantries.
Ooh.
Look, I'm really, really sorry. I should have been more careful.
Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. It's my fault, too. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurance don't do anything much to cheer her up.
I want to make it up to you.
Dinner? Again, we hold her, bro. Again with that decisive nod. For the first time in Two Bros Game Night history, older bros left the room.
It's absolutely fucking stupid. No, it couldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna make it up to you by slowly, like, you're gonna be on a fitness plan with me, and I'm gonna slowly get you up to speed, and not absolutely kill you by, getting you to run a race against me. Or, like,
how about lunch?
Something. Yeah, just lunch. Of course.
I never wanted to say this any more than I do now. I'm fucking clairvoyant!
You know what? What annoys me isn't this line. What annoys me is I assumed that one day that one of the stupid things I said that I would say, you know what, if this happens, I'm gonna leave, would eventually happen. So far, that has never happened.
Until now.
But this bullshit, younger brothers be like, let me predict this thing, it's probably not it, and then it's it. Fucking hell.
Literally making just a joke, just trying to go off on a joke. And it's literally what's happening.
It's a dating sim, of course it's a date. Why the fuck not?
Oh, man.
So you have to come to lunch with me, this is bullshit. I didn't write this.
Is that really the line? Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's not the line. I'm going too much into Sayori. I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good.
I start with a you don't have to, but then shut up and just nod at her when I see your face.
Good. We meet on the roof.
I'm not bringing it here. We?
Yep, the weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know.
I see.
You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you.
Okay. Of course not.
Great, see you there.
Thank God she left the room. I just said whatever just to get her out of here. I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Yeah, Emmy probably is the next best character, as in she's probably one of the more kinder characters. Just... not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed apart from my
I'm pretty
senses.
sure that there's something else that's not limp or paralyzed right now.
I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. I overslept. Great! I missed lunch! No wonder I'm feeling drained. Oh wait, that was the heart attack. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtains he drew to give me privacy. I can see his shadow shifting about in the sunlight.
You know, I
Yes.
just realized how much of this game is exactly the lines of that song. Putting my defenses up, 'cause I don't want to fall in love. If I ever did that, I think I'd have a heart attack.
He opened up the window of his office. It's windy outside. The clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion like waves dancing on the sand. Light shifts? Sifts? Okay, through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. And
out.
I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like the soft fabric of the curtains. Then Misha wakes me up with a hi!
Oh god, no.
I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer and my own heavy
Let me guess, he's gonna show up and scream at you for falling asleep because that could kill you.
It's steady. Damn it, not even a week, and I end up like this again! I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one.
You weren't doing any drugs.
And why did I try to act brave, like the heart flutter was no big deal, even when it was obvious that it was?
Because you can't accept the fact that you are not a normal person anymore. Which is understandable. It's literally been a week.
It seems like the right answer was to take it easy.
Yeah, probably, but...
It was just a reflex to push it away. Damn you, player, for choosing that option to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it. Stupid.
Now you're banging your head against.
I have to be more careful or I will end up in the hospital again or worse.
Okay, so going forward, we will be more careful.
That's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness.
If it just says end of game, you lose. You just die.
That'd be rough.
It's like,
whew. I fell asleep for how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a little lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtains aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How are you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. I'm feeling kind of groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? My croaking the question to gain some orientation. The nurse looking at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to have happened in slow motion. 10:15. I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. You didn't answer my question, he said. Oh, fine. Climb down from the bed then, and let's see how you're doing. Don't! I tried to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I moved too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly is what I was going to say. Just sit there, I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption in my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're all right. Head stopped spinning? Yeah. Good, and how are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, he sow. I swallowed the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by someone else makes me want to protest. What he's saying, it's not pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him any less right.
If only we could have this. Yeah. Now, this is the thing you should do in this situation. Don't get pissed off at the person. Just, if you are wrong, say, yes, sir. No, sir.
Thank
yes,
you,
ma'am. No, ma'am. And just... Sometimes, we as a society have this aversion to being attacked. A lot of people take you saying they're wrong to be a personal attack against you. And here's the thing. Generally speaking, it's not a personal attack. But let's say it is. Sometimes you need to be personally attacked. Sometimes you need to accept that somebody's punching you in the face because you did something fucking stupid and need to stop doing it.
He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said, told you so or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you to keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully, this little episode will be something that will remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher to avoid an interrogation. I take the slip of paper he's offering and then make my leave as I think of anything else to say, nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There's some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I go out from the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff and going straight away to class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms.
Oh, God.
The halls are quiet as the courtyard was, naturally, so since everyone is in class, I knock lightly at the door of 3-3 and push open the door when Muto calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good. Oh yeah, this is you. I think you were David.
Good morning, Nakai.
Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me a kind of stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods.
He knows that the nurse
again.
has already yelled at you, so he's
Yes.
not going to yell at you.
I shrug and he gestures at me to run along, so I naturally do. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive the first days. I was pretty high-strung in class. Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival.
So as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Oh, shoot. Games and fried food!
Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I.
Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what I meant was the
remainder of his sentences are buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Muto deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in the school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Normally, I'd go with the flow and grab my lunch myself, but today is different. Today, I've been invited to the lunch on the roof. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the lee of the classroom door.
I'm assuming that's the doorway?
I think so.
Yeah.
Eventually, the torrent subsides, and I step tentatively out into the hallway, only to be met by Emmy, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannonball. I came in. Okay.
Hey, Haiso, great timing. I have super extra lunch today, as promised. Let's go upstairs.
Can we take the elevator, please?
No.
God damn you. The stairway to the roof is a little
dilapidated,
but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock.
Probably Emmy.
And here again, a fence at the top of
the
roof.
Can't have suicides if there's a fence.
Emmy solves the...
Solves?
Yeah,
she solves the door puzzle and opens the door. I didn't realize this was Professor Layton.
Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a dark...
Oh my actual god.
A challenger approaches. A tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs.
We
Hello?
know who this is.
Double
Eek!
box. Yes, we do.
Like,
Who do you think it is?
yikes, you scared me, Ren. This wasn't a surprise.
Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me.
You two know each other?
You can say that. I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know this person.
So,
I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off.
I invited Esau for lunch. If you know him, that's just better.
Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Oh, bother. Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch?
Neither. I have food for 3.
Nice thinking. At least someone cares. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the
See,
clock
even when
tower
you
for a
choose the
while,
Emmy, even when you're
taking
going down the
an
Emmy route, you're
atmosphere.
also going down the Ren route.
There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. No one else on earth. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle.
Yeah. Basically, it's usually it's called the quad.
Okay. I think I even see the literature club down there with Sayori and Suki.
Still not in this game.
If you delivery truck.
Although that would be quite interesting. Like, okay, 2 different ways this could be interesting. Either it'd be interesting if every dating sim's in the same universe, or B, it would be interesting if
DDLC and Katawa Shoujo
DDLC is in the same universe, because that means that everyone in the literature club is a disabled student, which fits very well with their characters.
Oh, no wonder Blue Skies was made towards the convenience store.
But
nearby.
why is Kazuma there?
Hi, I'm Kazuma. Remember he was physically scarred. Somewhere a watchdog parks had a pet.
Where?
In the movie. That was the joke. Somehow when I look...
But still where?
Oh my god, I don't know how to explain this.
It's fine.
Anyway.
I know that you're talking about Konosuba. I'm not stupid, but like...
I know, but
I'm just not...
I'm just making a connection. Cause
yeah, I'm just not.
Konosuba made the joke that he was physically scarred. In fact, he was physically scarred twice in the movie.
No, I was mentally scarred.
Whatever. Same thing.
Okay, that's fine. I just wasn't remembering which instance you were talking
there
about.
There were 2.
Well,
Look,
he's been mentally scarred many times.
I know, but that was the joke when they actually said it in the movie.
Yeah. Now that I understand what you're saying, I get it.
When I look towards this town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jam. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown. Damn it, you're ruining it! Stop eating! Anyway, even if it's going to be mine for only 1 short year.
Oh, so you're a junior?
Finding out about my illness and having to move away from... like, Emmy is like opening a bag of good Doritos in the background while you're thinking all this.
Probably.
Away from home all came so suddenly I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean
Pokemon City. Cerulean
sky?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cerulean City.
A breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to, just a few weeks ago. Emmy settled on a bench with Ren in tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag.
Of course, hers is the big one. Come on, Isa, what are you waiting for?
This day to end. She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench.
Okay, that's good.
I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow
Wait, how
all
the
three
hell
of
is-
us fit on it.
How's this gonna... I guess you're just putting her food on the floor like a dog? Like, how the fuck is this gonna work for Rin? Because she has to use her foot, so she's gonna have to... It has to be a bigger bench
than we think.
Yeah, she doesn't... Like, she can't put it on her lap, right? She can't be that flexible that she brings her foot up to her lap to take from it, and then... I don't know how the fuck she even manages to do that.
I don't know.
That's...
Impressive you. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Ren and hands another lunchbox to me.
Here you go, lunch is promised.
Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Oh, wow, this looks really good.
Thanks, I'm making myself what I can.
Conversation dies off as I said about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Ren deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity.
Definitely a 20.
It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights like this? Yes, eventually. I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person?
There's no such thing as a normal person. Two bros fact of the day. There is no such thing as a normal person.
There is no normality.
No one is normal.
Or does it mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors.
Pretty sure it did. Look, her ancestors were master chefs. This is an insult to her ancestors.
That's quite a description, I'll give it that. You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, mouthful, and swallows before nodding.
My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. It helps me keep my girlish figure.
I'm just gonna nod and say okay. What would happen if you'd lose it? Would you become a man?
Ran, you're great. You're so great.
Jesus Christ. She can just make a wisecrack from anything. Like, she has a better sense of humor than we do. I very nearly choked on my lunch, trying not to laugh.
It's a figure of speech.
Did your figure have to run in mornings too?
It's wordplay!
You always talk like this? Like what?
Like what?
I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggled to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Ren seems content to let Emmy answer this question.
Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another.
Compliment each other? Really?
Wait, hold on.
Really?
Are you telling me I got assigned a room next to fucking weirdo because I compliment him well?
Like shoes and a suit. Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion.
Put us together and we've got all of our limbs, get it?
Oh,
That's messed up.
that's fucked up.
So I started helping Ren get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't have someone get dressed every morning and not get along.
I see. Ren chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with skirts.
Shirts.
Shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Oh, Ren. Kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. That combined with the fact that Ren is genuinely curious makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm going to just stop talking now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a character say, you know what, maybe I would be a better character if I became a silent protagonist.
Ren nods in what I expect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a...
She had the big one. How the fuck did she finish first?
I don't know. Contented noise.
Ah, that was good.
As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Ren speaks up. I'm thirsty.
I almost forgot about that. Sorry.
With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be a cranberry juice on one to Ren that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Ren dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her jukebox and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Ren are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. I don't know, Ren seems to like to joke about it. Ren especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a coincidence, conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure.
So, Hisao, how do you like it up here?
Boring. Just kidding. It's quite nice. Actually, I like high places for the view. No.
I would,
Keep me far away from the edge. Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me up here. Like, again, if I'm on the top of this school and I'm in the center, I'd be fine. But it's when I'm close to the edge when I start to back away. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin. Please buy my response, I suppose.
No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time, too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here.
Oh my god, is there eventually going to be a decision where you either sit with Sasune and Misha and Emmy?
Could be.
No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended.
Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve.
She giggles.
Well, if that's your answer, I guess Ren and I will just keep eating lunch all alone.
I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding, I was kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, the company's okay too.
Only okay?
Hey, that wasn't directed at you, that was directed at Ren. Hey.
Only okay.
Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess that makes us friend now, question mark. That should have been a question mark, or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs.
Ren, you didn't finish your lunch again.
I wasn't that hungry.
If you don't eat more, you're gonna fade away.
Ren shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we'd better get going. 3 of us head downstairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I'd borrowed into the slot in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Oh, sorry, Yuko, didn't mean to startle you.
No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you?
It's okay, I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway.
Oh.
I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. Maybe I'll read Old Man the Sea this time. I wander down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner, and sure enough, she's there. Anyway, where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it.
And there she is.
Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. Then she comes over and talks to me. After
my God, indiscernible. It's fucking been an hour and a half.
Indiscernible amount of time spent perusing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. Feeling utterly drained, I head to my room to read the books I borrowed. There's been enough action and excitement for one day already. The first is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I know the story, of course, but I'd never actually read the original book. It's just as trippy as I remember the story to be, with the wacky characters and the nonsense plot.
Yep.
And no wonder they keep using vigorously so much.
That's just you.
I start thinking of myself as some kind of an Alice too, haplessly tumbling down the rabbit hole into the cripple wonderland.
Okay.
Oh!
First off,
no, that's terrible.
Terrible. Second off, in that situation, Alice would be a completely normal person in that situation, and you are not. So that's wrong.
Okay, that's a rather strong expression, do you think?
Rather strong. That's beyond rather
Still,
strong.
the isolated location and the overt way the school accommodates to absolutely everything is unsettling. It is like another world. I wonder why I can't shake the feeling of being an outsider like Alice, despite most everyone being so hospitable and friendly with me.
To be fair, most of them have probably been living with their disability for like years and years, and you have not.
Turning another page, my mind starts drifting further away from the book. It's quiet. I can hear my heartbeat thumping against the fabric of my shirt. For some reason, it makes me feel really bad, like it has since that time in the forest with Iwatako. Like I was locked in a cage with something nasty and scary. I black out. I put the book down for a while and stare at the ceiling, taking my time to shake off the feeling. 200 pages later, I fall asleep.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure you shouldn't just stare off into the distance if you want to try to shake off some mental thoughts. Pretty sure continuing reading would be a much better way to do that.
We definitely tried to go the distance today, and look where that got us, back in the hospital.
I can go the distance.
The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who have worked through the night. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Muto lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students are the only people here that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and questions numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk.
Oh, I got it. He's been drunk.
It's completely
Atypical.
a typical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their test books into position and get to work, not wanting to break the trend. I do the same. Fatigue has made this class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partly be attributed to the 2 empty seats besides me. For some reason, Misha and Susune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival.
Makes sense.
It's very quiet without Misha present.
Makes
I wonder
sense.
if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for Susune's lack of voice.
Probably the first. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment?
I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Muto approaching my desk. Oh, sure. What's this about?
Probably better if we speak outside the classroom.
Oh, did something bad happen?
Oh.
Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Muto stands in the hallway, scratches his head as he works out what he is trying to say, not knowing what's going on, and waits silently.
I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day.
I know I gave you a note.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about.
Yes, it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this.
Alright, I get it, I'm sorry. Muto closes his eyes in frustration. I realize that this probably wasn't the best thing to say.
Something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish.
Not quite sure if this is actually how he feels or if it is some act that he's practiced many times to guilt trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand this is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Muto appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received.
So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we?
I don't think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information.
Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning.
I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you got to keep up with these things, right?
That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right?
Right. Wouldn't want that to happen.
No, you wouldn't. Every week there's this new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing.
I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability.
Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's get back inside, shall we?
My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Muto pauses for a moment. Uh-oh.
I don't think any of my students has ever said that to me before.
For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. So don't even bother. Their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto does not even notice them. He returns to the desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Muto and I left in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away until finally the bell cries out, ending the torment.
Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems by Monday.
The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is Hanako. And that is it for today.
Yeah, Hero's gonna save there. Exercise.
Time. Okay, guys, that is gonna be it for today's episode. So like and subscribe to YouTube and Twitch. Comment to videos, do read them. Follow on Twitch, and we'll see you on the next Katawa Shoujo episode. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.